Got Claire next. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, you say you've got no option other than lie because the truth's just too painful.
That's right, yes, absolutely.
What's happened?
We've been trying for babies for 19 years. We've had 3 attempts at IVF and they've all failed for one reason or another, and it's really difficult. Friends and family kind of know the situation and they're really lovely to us, but when you go to the odd wedding reception or you meet people that aren't in your direct circle, and the first question they tend to ask you as a married couple is, oh, have you got kids?
Yeah.
And it's just that mortified situation where you think, do I tell the truth and say we can't have them and make them feel awkward? Or do we just say, oh, no, we didn't want them? And we tend to go for the latter, and then you do get a little bit of prejudice, a little bit of, like, feeling like an alien.
Absolutely.
We really need to look at how we...
I think a lot of this phone-in, it's been about, how the rest of us react to people, and people really should learn to be much more sensitive. I think in your case, I wouldn't go down the route, Claire, of actually lying about it and say we didn't want them, because you then get reactions which are very inappropriate for the situation you're in. But you could just say something like, hasn't happened for us yet, and that I think people then, they'll back off, they won't ask any further questions. But it leaves it open as to, what the future for you might be. And I hope if you have another cycle of IVF that it does work for you this next time. And I do understand, how painful it is. And I hope you and your husband are managing to have lots of sort of good times together so that your life isn't only focused on this hunt for a baby.
We make sure we do good things to kind of overwrite the bad.
Yeah,
good.
Good. That's great.
Have you ever thought of taking the adoption route or fostering or anything like that?
We looked at the adoption route, but we had the adoption meeting and they explained to us that because of our age being 45, we would probably end up with a child that's sort of in their late teens, not a baby or a small child. And also they were saying that the route for that is about a 7-year wait to actually get what you want at the end, and we're just running out of time at our age.
Yeah, we don't make it easy in this country, do we? I suppose it's about child protection, but it is very hard. But think about fostering, because fostering often turns then into a long-term commitment, and that's, choosing a more speedy route through to actually having a child in your home. And usually, you're giving a needy child a loving home.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Great advice.